Good morning to all my wonderful viewers out there. Welcome back to our weekly sneakers and streetwear podcast series, Sneakers and Stuff, where we discuss all the recent releases, upcoming releases, and releases you should definitely keep your eyes on that are going to be coming out in the next coming months. So, upcoming releases and then very far away releases as well. Welcome back to episode 5, where we're going to be covering a lot today. A lot of recent releases, actually. We've got a lot of stuff that released recently, and actually I'm kind of disappointed because on the upcoming releases, it's a lot smaller. It is a lot smaller than what I wanted it to be, but that's okay. You know, sometimes we have quiet weeks, and this looks like to be a quiet week. But we're still going to be covering some big topics, like Warren Lotas collaborated with Staple Pigeon to do a pair of dunk lows. The off-white rubber dunks that are finally releasing are going to be a region exclusive, and some other big topics like Gucci is collaborating with the North Face. That and a lot more is going to be covered in today's episode. Guys, even though it's Tuesday, we're still going to do an episode. Sorry I didn't get around to doing it on Sunday. I had a very busy weekend, and then on Monday I had work and I just didn't have time. I spent most of Monday actually writing today's episode, so now finally on Tuesday we actually get to record it and speak about everything that I have been writing down over the past couple days. I did manage to record Sunday's Best Dressed on Sunday, if that means anything to you guys. So there we go. So yes, just like normal, just like every episode every week, well actually, just like every episode as of late, we are doing it in 8 segments. We have 8 sections of this podcast. We have section 1, which is Sunday's Best Dressed, the little section of the podcast dedicated to, I don't know, me dressing up in a outfit that I come up with on Sunday. But also for you guys, if you're interested in sending in your outfits that you've recently been posting on Instagram, you can post them on Instagram, send them to me, and send hashtag Sunday's Best Dressed, and then you guys can feature on that segment as well. I'm always down for that. We haven't had anyone feature yet, so be number 1 and feature in the next episode, which will be episode 6. The second section will be Heat on My Feet, a recent retro or shoe that I have been enjoying over the past week. Then there will be section 3, which we added in episode 4, which is recent pickups. I thought that you guys might enjoy a consolidated section of the podcast where I talk about things that I've recently picked up. So yes, we've now got segment 3 as recent pickups. Segment 4 is recent releases. That's where we will talk about recent sneaker, streetwear, and fashion releases that's happened over the past week. Moving on to section number 5, we have streetwear and fashion news and rumors. So that will be rumors of upcoming collaborations, leaks of upcoming collaborations, news like, you know, maybe someone becomes a new creative director of an iconic brand, and also sometimes I like to chuck in just a couple lookbooks that I have recently been looking at that you guys definitely need to have a look at yourself. So that's section number 5. Has a lot of good stuff in there. I really enjoy section number 5. Section number 6 is basically the same but in sneakers. So sneaker news, leaks, rumors, everything like that. That'll be covered in section number 6 there. Section number 7 will be upcoming streetwear and fashion releases. As I said though, this is quite a quiet week. There hasn't been much that I have, you know, really found that's going to be releasing up until the start of October. But in saying that though, mid-October is going to be a wild week. So episode 6 and 7, guys, there's going to be some crazy stuff releasing in that, releasing in those weeks that we will cover in those podcast episodes. And last but not least, in section 8, we have upcoming sneaker releases. Same deal, heading up to the end of September, we don't really have a lot, but starting at October and October onwards, we have so many releases. So unfortunately, episode 5 is a little bit bare today, but I'm telling you, episode 6 and 7 is going to have a lot of banging stuff in it. So we'll move on now to our first section, or our first segment of the podcast, which is Sunday's Best Dressed. As I mentioned, guys, if you want to feature in this specific section of the podcast, just post a photo on Instagram of your outfit forward it to me on Instagram. Send me the message Sunday's best dressed, and also you guys can break down the outfit there on what you're wearing in my messages, in my DMs as well. But yes, let's move on to our first section, which is Sunday's best dressed. Okay guys, so for episode 5, I've gone with a very baggy fit here. I've gone with some super baggy jeans, the super wide fitting Champion reverse weave white hoodie with a vintage Jeff Hamilton Baltimore Orioles leather reversible jacket with, of course, the Shadow Backboard 3.0s. A very overhated shoe there. I think it works really, really well with the jacket here as showcased. I would only change maybe the hoodie to match the midsoles of the Shadow Backboard 3.0s, but I mean, if the Shadow Backboard 3.0s actually had a white midsole, then the whole outfit would just look a lot better, but what can you do, I suppose? All in all, I had a lot of fun with this one. Definitely tried to go for a 90s Wu-Tang wide-fitting outfit here. I wouldn't go as far as what the 90s had with their super wide jeans. I think this is probably as wide as I would want them, but this is going to be the outfit for episode 5, guys. If you want to feature in this series, send me your outfits on Instagram, but had a lot of fun with this one. There we go, guys. That was segment 1, which was Sunday's best dressed. A very Wu-Tang fitting, 90s fitting outfit there. I mean, that's basically how I dress all the time anyway. Wide stuff, man. Wide jeans. Not as wide as like actual 90s jeans though, because those boys are like crazy. But wide jackets, wide hoodies. It's just, that's the vibe. I'm a wide fella. But yeah, that is Sunday's best dressed. As I mentioned, it was recorded on Sunday, so I think it's still Sunday's best dressed. I will move on now to section number 2 of the podcast, which is Heat on My Feet, the segment where we talk about a retro that I have recently been enjoying or a sneaker that I have recently been enjoying this week, and I want to bring it up in this episode. Now, obviously, you guys, let me know in that comment section below. What is a recent sneaker or a recent retro that you've been enjoying? Actually, it doesn't even have to be recent. What is a sneaker or retro that you have recently been enjoying? It can be a sneaker from like 5 years ago. Come on, half the sneakers here are from like 5 years ago. As long as you've been enjoying them, let me know down in that comment section below. What have you been enjoying? What do you think needs some praise? Let me know what your heat on your feet is down in that comment section below. But for this week, for episode 5, it is going to be a Jordan 5 for me. That was purely by coincidence. That wasn't me, you know, picking it because it was episode 5. For this episode, it is going to go to the Air Jordan 5 Fire Reds, the 2020 retro with the OG branding, and even more OG branding in there. I know, you got to be a real Jordan nerd to know that kind of stuff, right? But yeah, no, this is an amazing shoe. I fell in love with the 5s ever since I picked up the black metallics, which I unboxed on the channel. Then I picked up the Fire Red 5s off of eBay, actually, size 16. The guy wanted $325 US, and I was like, no. How about 225? And he's like, okay, 225. And I was like, oh, bet. Okay, well, here we go. Because that's like 25 bucks more than retail. So, I mean, I ain't complaining. He wanted 125 more than retail, and I offered him only 25 more than retail, and he took it. So there we go. I would say a pretty good deal, right? Yeah, no, absolutely love this sneaker. It's super tough on the leather. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Takes a while to break in, but as soon as this breaks in, this is going to be mad soft, and I am all for that. I am ready for that. The shoe itself, the silhouette is super bulky, super 90s looking, which is perfect because that's my aesthetic, 90s looking clothing. So it's just everything I needed. And the color is amazing. It's primarily white with a little bit of red and a little bit of black. Super easy to style. Only downside is the icy blue outsoles, but that's just because Jordan Brand's obsessed with icy blue outsoles as of late. But yeah, for this week, for episode 5, it is going to go to the Air Jordan 5 Fire Reds, the 2020 retro. Absolutely amazing shoe there, guys. But I want to hear from you as well in that comment section below. What has been a sneaker or retro that you've recently been enjoying? Why have you been enjoying it? Let me know everything you have to say about your heat on your feet in that comment section below. But we'll now move on to the next segment of the podcast, which is segment number 3, which is recent pickups, where I showcase to you guys my recent streetwear, fashion, and sometimes, streetwear, fashion, sneaker, and sometimes jewelry purchases on the channel. So let's head on over there now and have a look at my recent pickup. So now moving into segment number 3, or section 3 of the podcast, recent pickups. So I haven't actually picked up a lot this week, which is probably a good thing. I need to stop picking up a lot of stuff. You know, we've been picking up too much recently, but a recent pickup that I have done is just simply a Palace piece from their Autumn 2020 collection, which was the John and Molly mouth jacket. It was one of my favorite pieces released this season, a very wild, unique piece. Features artwork from John Dove and Molly White. It has, as you can see, mouths all over it, but the actual jacket itself is spelt mouth, M-O-U-F, instead of mouths. It's a very awesome piece, Sherpa, multiple different colors there, multicolored, and it's just a sweet piece, man. Absolutely awesome. It was removed from the Palace web store just before the season changed to the winter season. So if you're looking to pick it up now, I think you can only pick it up from either resellers or stockists that bring in old Palace season stuff. Or a Palace store. I'm sure the Palace physical stores will have it in stock, but yeah, just a super dope piece. Absolutely love it. It's so unique, right? Like, it's just such a unique and crazy piece. I love it. I love it. But yeah, that is my only recent pickup this week in section 3, guys. So we'll move on now to the bulk of the podcast. As you can see, I mean, look at all that text, right? Which is section number 4, which is recent releases. Let's have a look at what has recently released in the streetwear, fashion, sneaker, and even jewelry world. Oof, here we go. Here we go. the bulk of the episode, section 4. Recent releases. We have got, god damn, we have just got so much to talk about here. So many releases. Man, if I wasn't working all the time, there would just be this many videos of just things being covered. But thank God I'm working, right? So I don't have enough time to cover things in all these different YouTube videos, and I have to do it in like a podcast episode. But yeah, goddamn, we have a lot. So let's get into it. So the first recent release that we have is the Air Jordan 13 Lucky Greens. We obviously discussed that in the last week's episode, in episode 4. We talked about it as an upcoming release. It released on September 26th for $190 US. I personally think if you can pick this up for under retail, this is just a really nice, well color blocked Jordan 13. You can just pick up for a really nice price. I think it is actually quite nice. People are skipping over it because there's no hype surrounding it. Good, honestly, because then people can pick it up for a good price. But yeah, no, it's a solid 13. Again, if you can find it for under retail, if you can find it, I mean, I doubt at an outlet, but if you can find it at an outlet in a couple months' time, seriously, I would say pick it up. It is a very solid release. Moving on, we have Beams and Adidas collaborating on a pair of Stan Smiths. This released for 15,400 Japanese yen, which you chop off a couple zeros. So you chop off 2 zeros and it lands at about 154. Take it back a bit. It's going to be around like 146 USD, like around that. You always got to like do like an approximation when you're, you know, obviously doing from Japanese yen to USD, because it never exactly lands on like 150 or 145. It's always like a little bit more. So I think it's going to be around like 146 US dollars. This is available now on Beams' web store. This released a couple days ago. A lot of the sizes sold out, but they only released from size 8 US to size 12 US. So there wasn't a huge size range available there. It was available on Beams' online store. It might be available on a couple stockists, you know, a couple stockists might have hosted it. It wasn't very revolutionary. It didn't change much, but it was a nice little subtle change in the Stan Smith with some high quality leather used on it there as well. So a very little nice release there. 146 USD is like my approximate for the price there, but you can pick it up from Beams' web store if you are interested in that. And up next, we have my favorite jewelry. Well, it's not specifically a jewelry brand, but my favorite brand that does jewelry. my favorite high-end fashion brand, Asics Studios, has decided to release a new pair of trainers, they're calling them. The Buckle Low trainers. They released for £415, which is... yikes! Which is approximately 526 USD. These released on September 28th. They're released in two colorways. They released in either an all white or an all black. I wasn't a huge fan of these, mainly because the sections of the actual upper are done in like perforated leather, you know, the leather with like the holes on them. That's not really a vibe for me. I don't really like that. I don't like it when brands do perforated leather besides on the, you know, toe boxes for breathability, but just, I don't know, it looks weird, it looks cheap to me, but I know it can't be cheap because it's Asics Studios and it's going to be like made in Italy and it's going to be mad expensive. As we just talked about, it's £415 and they released on September 28th, but yeah, it's just not a look for me. Anyway, I'm just happy that Asics Studios is releasing more stuff, so I thought I'd just cover that for you guys. But yes, you can go and pick up the Buckle Low trainer now on their web store for an approximate 526 US dollars. Moving on, we have kind of like an overlooked release over the past week. This one wasn't talked about too much because all the focus of this release was taken away by essentially the same brand, but a different subsection, releasing a different shoe, and I'll explain in a second. So we had the Comme des Garçons shirt Asics Gel Light 3's release on September 22nd. Now, the reason that this release was overshadowed was because the Comme des Garçons Play Converse Chuck 70s restocked on the same day. So everyone was going for the Converse and not the Gel Light 3's. And also because they saw the price for these Gel Light 3's and were like, nah, not for me. Which, you know what, fair enough. So, yeah, these Comme des Garçons shirt Asics Gel Light 3's released for, get ready for this, 310 US dollars, which, Jesus. That is a retail price. That is a retail price here. It's a very wild, crazy Gel Light 3. You know, you can go from really toned down, really simple Gel Light 3's that Ronnie Feiger's done to these crazy Comme des Garçons shirt ones that are just filled with color. Yeah, this is pretty wild release here. It might still be available in some stockists because of the retail price there, because it released for 320 USD, but yeah, guys, that's pretty wild, eh? So, yeah, that released on September 22nd, if any of you guys are interested. Moving on, we have the second Comme des Garçons release that we talked about last week as an upcoming release, which is the Comme des Garçons Play Converse Chuck 70s restocked. They were restocked in the lows, the highs, and all the different colors for 150 USD a pop. It didn't matter if it was lows or highs. They're 150 US dollars each. They released on September 22nd on either Converse's store or End. You could pick them up from either. A very classic shoe, one that's dunked on a little bit in the high end, the high fashion community. But hey, look, you love the shoe, go for it. But honestly, good luck trying to pick up a pair now. They are completely sold out. They're completely sold out really quickly. So hopefully you can pick one up from like the secondary market in some way, shape or form. But yeah, that is the final, I think it's the final Comme des Garçons release we talked about. Yeah, I think it is there. So that is the final Comme des Garçons release we're talking about this week. But yeah, the CDG Play Converses restocked on September 22nd. Next, we had a nice little dunk release. We had the Nike Dunk High Michigans. They released on September 23rd for 120 USD. An OG colorway from the Be True to Your School pack, the pack of dunks that released in 1985 to encourage you to wear your school's colors. This was obviously a big program back in the 80s. It was very cool. And yeah, this is one of the dunks from that original program. Now, obviously it sold out straight away. It was quite interesting when we talked about it. I think we did talk about it in the last episode, in episode 4, that when this, because this dunk released in 2016 as well, when this Michigan Dunk High released in 2016, it went to clearance shops, it went to outlets, it went to those places, right? And now in 2020, because Travis Scott wore a couple dunks, They are just like the hot ticket item, man. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, good luck trying to find a pair for retail now that it's been like various days since it's released. But let me know if you guys picked up the Dunk High Michigans that released on September 23rd for 120 USD. Let me know down in that comment section below if you're able to pick them up or not. But a very solid release. You can just never go wrong with a pair of Michigan Dunks. Now, up next, we have a little bit of a wild collaboration. We have the human-made Adidas, I think it's Tokyo, Solar HM, and the second model, the UNO FCLs. I mean, I know, they make them really easy to pronounce, right? Yeah, so what happened is that Human Made, you know, Nigo's new brand, collaborated with Adidas, no surprise there, but instead of redoing, you know, models that we've seen being released for decades, Human Made decided to make 2 new models with Adidas that we've never seen before. So I thought that was kind of cool and definitely worth something that we have to bring up in recent releases. So that we had the it's Tokyo Solar HM. This thing has a huge heel tab. Huge heel tab. I have no idea why. I think it's purely just to flex the Human Made heart logo on the back of it. I honestly don't know why. It released in 2 colorways, a green and white colorway, very iconic colorway for Adidas, and then a white and blue one. The green and white one is still available on HBX, but the white and blue one, that flew off the shelves. That one is gone straight away. And then secondly, we have the UNO FCL. This thing kind of looks like the Stan Smiths, just with some Velcro straps and maybe like a slight silhouette change, but I feel like the Tokyo is definitely something that's like more monumental here than the UNO FCLs, because they, as I said, they kind of just look like Stan Smiths but slightly altered. Either way, really cool release. It released on September 25th for 140 USD or 200 Australian dollars. It's available on HBX. It did release on the Adidas store as well, but I mean, it's probably sold out by now, but it's still available on HBX. So if you want to go pick up a pair, HBX is your best bet to go pick up a pair there. Moving on, we have another dunk, but this time a Nike SB dunk. So a little bit different. So up next, we have the Nike SB X Atlas Dunk High Lost at Sea. Awesome colorway, awesome dunk. This, like, I don't usually really get around dunks and dunk like SB dunks, but this one, this was well done. So, and like the whole, it came with a collection of apparel as well. It all works really well. So Nike SB and Atlas collaborated together to do a dunk high. This time around, this dunk high featured, like, how do I put it, like really cracked leather, like on purpose to look like it's like really dried out and really devoid of color. And they've gone with this like off-white look for the laces and midsole. They've gone for this like really retro looking text that's embroidered on the tongue. The colors are just really nice. It's a really well colored, really well done dunk. I think this is like definitely one of my favorite dunks over the past couple months. This is a really solid one. This one released exclusively on their store on September 26th. But there is a rumor, there's an alleged rumor that it is releasing on October 2nd at skate shops. So if you missed out picking it up on Atlas's store, you can pick it up from potentially maybe your local skate shop on October 2nd. So definitely have a look out for that. Look out to see if on October 2nd they release. But yeah, very solid release there. I think it's a really nice dunk, and it retailed for, oh sorry, I tried to find the retail price for it, but I could not find the retail price for it. So it's going to be around like 130, I reckon, around about that, but I was unable to find the retail price for that one there. Now moving on, finally we can talk about some clothing, because we've been talking about a lot of recent sneaker releases. As of late, we have had very few clothing releases actually. I think they're saving it for October or maybe later on in the year. But one recent release that did happen was the Noah x Barber. You know, the iconic brand that we talked about when Supreme collaborated with them recently. Noah and Barber did some, of course, wax oil jackets, because that's like Barber's whole thing. This released on September 24th. I really like the lookbook for this whole collection. I thought it was very funny. It was like all the Noah, or at least a lot of the Noah higher ups dressed in the whole like collection. It was very well done. I had a good time with it. I thought it was a good laugh. But yeah, that released on September 24th. I know some of you guys were actually quite keen on that, so let me know in that comment section below if you did pick up anything from it. But yeah, that is our first clothing coverage, and oh my god, it's all the way down here in the recent releases. So yeah, but there's a lot of sneakers that released, not a lot of clothing recently. But we'll push on now and cover another recent release, which was another clothing collection. And the clothing collection that we're going to be talking about is the No Vacancy in X Stussy capsule. This was modeled by ASAP Nast, which I thought was pretty cool. It released on September 27th. Oh no, sorry. September 25th. September 25th. My bad. September 25th. Featured a whole range of clothing in different aesthetics. My favorite piece was the cream lightweight trench coat, and it was actually like surprisingly cheap. It was actually like a good price. All of it sold out because it's Stussy. Stussy is on trend at the moment, so I'm not going to be picking that up because it's sold out. But yeah, the trench coat though, that was really, really nice. But yeah, that released on September 25th. Let me know if you guys managed to pick up anything from that little drop there. Next, we have, going back to another sneaker release, one of the big releases that we're going to bring up in today's episode, which is that Warren Lotas and Staple Pigeon, or Jeff Staples brand, collaborated on the 27th, so on the Sunday, to give us a new dunk. This is obviously a redo of Jeff Staples' iconic Pigeon dunk there, or whatever the colorway of it is specifically called. Dunk heads will know. Yeah, no, it obviously just changed up the swoosh to Warren Lotas's swoosh. Heaps of people are going off about it. It's really weird though. People are going off at Warren Lotas's dunks, but then there's like brands that are doing the similar thing on like Air Jordan 1s. Bape has been doing Bapesters for years, and nobody seems to go really wild about that. But Warren Lotas, it's like bring down the thunder on him. I don't know why. I have nothing against these. It was a bit of a laugh. It was available for 15 minutes, and if you ordered one in 15 minutes, you got a pair. But after the 15 minutes, if you didn't order a pair, that's it. It cuts off. That's it. So however many pairs were ordered is however many are in existence now, which I thought was actually kind of a cool way of handling it. So, you know, even if bots ordered heaps of them, that's it though. It cuts off there. It ends there. So I thought that was an interesting way to handle it there. It was pretty cool. These released for, I think, the 300 USD that he asks for every single time he releases a dunk. Quite expensive for a pair of shoes at a retail price. He claims that the materials are Italian materials and manufactured in, I assume, Italy, but some people have been saying that they've been made in Malaysia. But again, that could just be people talking mad smack because everyone's hating on Warren right now for whatever reason. Yeah, no, these released on the Sunday for 300 USD, I assume. A wild, wild release. That's the fourth colorway, because what do we have? The Heinekens, the Freddy Krueger ones, the Stussy ones, and yeah, now these ones, the Jeff Staple ones. But these were like actually in collaboration with him. It wasn't just like he took the design, like he collabed with Jeff. So yeah, that's pretty wild. Yeah, let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on that fourth colorway down in that comment section below though. Moving on, we have a collection that released on Saturday. I thought, well, actually two collections that released on Saturday. I loved both of them. I did a video on them. It's actually my last video that I did, and it's just an amazing, amazing collection. We have Kith releasing their Fall 2020 collection on Saturday, the 26th of September, and then at the same time also released part 2 of their Major League Baseball collaboration as well. Loved so many pieces from this collection. There was just so much there to love. I honestly should do a top 5 video. I'm really tempted to do a top 5 video. Some of the pieces are absolutely crazy. I prefer the Yankees stuff more than the Dodgers stuff, but obviously it depends on who you root for. I don't root for any of them. I was just kind of like, the Yankees stuff is just sick. So that was my justification. I was like, damn, that looks cool. But yeah, lots of really, really solid releases in this one. And it released on Saturday the 26th. And last but not least, in our recent releases, I know, sorry, we've been going on for this for ages. In our recent releases for episode 5, we have that Perks and Mini, an Australian streetwear brand, collaborated with Undercover. I thought this was pretty monumental. I was like, damn, Perks and Mini coming in with a collaboration with Neighborhood a couple months ago. And now they're like, you know what, we did Neighborhood, we got to go do Undercover now. That's just wild. Good on them for managing to hustle that. That is respect right there. Yeah, this collection was super sick. It didn't actually have a lot in it. It had a couple hoodies and tees and a skull accessory. I think it was an incense burner. But I thought the hoodie was really cool. I may have picked up something there, so you'll just have to wait and see. Because I missed out on the Neighborhood stuff, so I was like, I'm not missing out on the Undercover stuff. I'm super keen to receive my item, undisclosed on what it is, but a very, very cool collaboration that released on the 26th. It's still available if you guys are interested in it. You can go pick it up from the Perks and Mini store, which is the cheaper alternative, because if you go to End and Essence and stuff, they always charge a little bit more. So go to Perks and Mini if you want that cheap price. But yeah, no, an awesome little collection there, and it released on Saturday the 26th of September. And that is it though. That is all of our recent releases that I have jotted down and covered. Let me know in that comment section below if I missed out on any of them and if there's some that you think should have been mentioned but I didn't cover. We'll now move on now to our 5th section of the podcast, which is streetwear and fashion news and rumors. Okay, now we'll move on to section 5 of the podcast, which is streetwear and fashion news and rumors. So we've got our first, well, it was originally a rumor, but now it's confirmed because it's been posted on Gucci's Instagram. We are getting a Gucci North Face collaboration. What will this entail? In my opinion, very overpriced jackets. Very overpriced outwear, or at least very expensive outwear. I honestly don't know what to expect, guys. My thoughts are just like North Face jackets covered in Gucci monogram prints, and if that is actually what releases, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna laugh my ass off if that is the case, but I'm calling it now. It's gonna be stuff like that. There might be a couple accessories, like a couple tote bags or something like that, but I don't know what to expect from Gucci the North Face. What do you guys think is gonna release in Gucci TNF? Like, can you think? I can only think of just, yeah, like North Face jackets covered in Gucci monogram prints, and done in maybe like Gucci's factory, so it's more expensive or something like that. I honestly don't know, but that is our first, well, and again, initially a rumor, now confirmed. It's news, our latest news piece in section 5. What a wild year, 2020, Gucci North Face. Yeah, jeez. Okay, well, there we go. Next, we have a collection that you guys should definitely just like keep your eyes and ears out on. It is a Coldwalls Spring Summer 2021 collection. Some of the lookbook images were released on a Coldwalls Instagram. I was a huge fan of the eyewear. I'm normally a huge fan of the Coldwall eyewear. I don't have any eyewear from them, but I would love to pick up some because that marble pair of glasses that they released recently, I just love them. I thought those were sick. A lot of the outwear in the lookbook showcased photos was really, really cool. I really liked some of the jackets and stuff. I was like, damn, that goes hard, but it also is going to be mad expensive. The downside of loving fashion and realizing it's just super, super expensive. But yeah, no, definitely a collection you guys should look out for. The Coldwalls Spring Summer 2021 collection. Now moving on to some more news. Unfortunately, this is actually pretty depressing news. This is the second episode in a row we've lost someone who's like big in the fashion, streetwear, or sneaker culture and stuff like that. Like we lost Bob Gore last week, you know, the creator of Gore-Tex, and this week we have lost Keith Huffnagel, the owner and original creator of Huff Worldwide, the skating brand. Unfortunately, he passed away at 46. 46. That's way too young. That's way too young. He passed away after a battle with brain cancer. It's just, it's just tragic, man. A lot of the collections of late I really enjoyed. I loved the Pulp Fiction Huff collaboration. That thing was just super awesome because I'm a huge Pulp Fiction fan. I love that film. And it's just really grim to see him pass away. I wasn't expecting it. Going on from, you know, Gucci, the North Face, 2020, what a hilarious year, to, wow, Keith, Huff, gone in 2020. It's grim. It's grim. So, rest in peace, Keith. I'm really sad to say that you have passed away. Australia definitely loves Huff. Definitely loves Huff as a brand. I always see skaters and just kids in the street rocking Huff. So you will be missed. And I definitely wanted to, you know, dedicate a little bit of this podcast to say, you know, rest in peace, man. That's super great. Moving on to something a little bit more lighthearted and a little bit more enjoyable. Another collection you guys should definitely be, you know, keeping tabs on and keeping your eyes and ears out for. It is Human Made's Fall Winter 2020 collection. Now, I have nothing against Human Made. I think that their take on 50s and 60s Americana and American college and Ivy League fashion, it's actually pretty cool. It works really well for me because I love that aesthetic. I love varsity jackets. I love knits. I love button-up tees. So like Ivy League and college fashion is like really my thing. So when I saw the lookbook images of their Fall Winter 2020 collection, I was like, God damn. Especially that varsity jacket. If you've seen the images, you know that as soon as I saw that varsity jacket, I was like, ooh. Yeah, it's solid. It's solid. Yeah, no. And there was a knit. There was a knit. A H knit in the lookbook. Damn. It's going to be expensive. I mean, Human Made always is, but, you know, that's what you get. I would love the varsity jacket and knit, man. Just amazing. That's what I want. So yeah, that is the Human Made Fall Winter 2020 collection. Definitely keep your eyes and ears out for when that releases and see if you can pick up some stuff from that, because that is a sweet collection. But that is it. That is everything in section 5. We'll end it there on the Human Made Fall Winter 2020 collection. Definitely keep your eyes and ears out for that one. It recently got debuted. Let's move on now to section number 6, which is sneaker news and rumors. Moving on to section 6, sneaker news and rumors. We have to start it off with that we are apparently getting the Jordan 4s with OG branding retroed in the military blue colorway. I'm super excited to hear this. You know I'm a fan of OG Jordan brand colorways and done in OG branding. It's just perfect. It's exactly what we want. Please do more of it, Jordan brand. Apparently though, we're gonna have to wait. They're gonna get a release in 2021, which is a bit grim. I know we gotta wait, but hey, we talked about it last episode. I think at least we talked about it last episode. The Fire Red 4s apparently coming towards the end of this year, and then if we're getting blessed with the military blue 4s in OG branding next year, I'm fine with that. I will work with the Fire Red ones until the military blue ones come. But yeah, it's like this whole new effort, because Jordan Brand seems to be trying to make these Jordan 4s in particular exactly like the OG ones. So it'll be interesting to see how that all turns out. But yeah, super keen for it. 2021, guys. We've got to wait a little bit longer, but we will finally be getting the military blues done in OG branding. Next, we have another rumor that's been circulating for a while, but everyone's talking about it recently because, I don't know, I guess there's more information about it, or maybe people just want to bring it up. Apparently, we are getting some Supreme Air Jordan 1s for Supreme's Spring-Summer 2021 collection. These will be done like the Nike Dunk Highs were, the early 2000s ones with the stars all over them and stuff. And like this time around, some like snake skin looking leather apparently. Again, it's a rumor, but I feel like it totally could happen in their next collection for Spring-Summer 2021. Supreme just doing wild stuff like this is no surprise. And it's also not their first ever Jordan collaboration. So, you know what? I'm not surprised at this point. So, it could happen, but again, allegedly it's going to happen in Spring-Summer of 2021. Now, moving on, we have potentially another Kith Air Force One releasing. Now, this one, I don't feel like we're actually going to get released to the public. So, as we talked about, Kith released a Japanese exclusive Air Force One for the release of their Japanese flagship store, right? Now, photos have surfaced of there being a Kith Air Force One New York City colorway. I mean, I doubt this is, I reckon this is a friends and family. I reckon this is a friends and family. I don't think this is going to get released to the public. I feel like it's just like a thing Ronnie Feiger's done. He's given to a few of his mates. He's given to the teams at Kith, and that's it. I don't think we're going to get more than that. I think that's it. But I could be wrong. We could get a full release of it, but I would be very doubtful of that. So yeah, apparently we're going to get a new Kith Air Force One that's New York City themed. Last but not least, we have a nice little Off-White rumor. We have apparently that the Air Jordan 5 Off-White sale colorway is apparently going to release in October. So that's 2 Off-White Jordan 5s in a year, because we got the metallic ones in February, I want to say. I think it released in February, right? It released on All-Star Weekend. I think I'm right in saying that. I think I am right in saying that. I'd have to check though. And now we're apparently getting the other colorway of it, which is the sale colorway. I don't know if this is going to be a women's exclusive release or if it's going to be a men's release. I hope it's a men's release because I actually kind of like this sale colorway. I think it's a cool take on the Air Jordan 5s. The black metallic ones have actually like come around. And now that I've got the OG black metallics, I'm kind of like, you know what? I wouldn't mind the Off-White black metallics. So I'm kind of getting around the Off-White Jordan 5 Jordan 5s. I just wasn't a huge fan of them initially, but now that I've actually got a pair of Jordan 5s, I'm like, you know what? Send them my way, Virgil. Send them to my address. Message me on Instagram and I'll give you my address. You can send them to me. But yeah, that's my final rumor. That is my final rumor. In the sneaker news and rumors section 6, guys. So we'll move on to our second last section, which is upcoming streetwear and fashion releases. Okay guys, section 7. So we have upcoming streetwear and fashion releases. Not too much going on this week. Not too much going on this week. From what I can find, it just looks like to be the regular, you know, releases that happen. So over the next 7 days, it kind of just looks like it's like, you know, Palace, Supreme, Kith, and oh well, we get a Del Schutzer release, so I suppose that's a little bit different there. So to start it off with, we'll have week 1 of Palace's Winter 2020 collection. As you guys may or may not know, Palace has finished off their Autumn 2020 collection, and they're now moving into their Winter one. And week 1 will be happening on October 2nd, this Friday. So I haven't covered the lookbook, I haven't done the drop list video, but we'll obviously do both. I've got to do some other some other Palace content first before doing that one. But also on Friday, I'm working 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. and the drop is happening at 8 p.m. So if there is something that I am interested in after we do the drop list video, I can actually cover it in a live cop video. It's been a hot minute since I've done a live cop video, but yes, I can actually do one on Friday if there is something that I'm interested in, but that'll be something I'm super keen for. If there is something, we'll have to do the drop list video first, but I just thought I'd mention it, guys. Palace Winter Week 1, October 2nd, this Friday. Be there. I will be, of course, doing a drop list video. And if Palace is releasing this week, of course, the New York skating brand, Supreme New York, is of course releasing as well, guys. They are doing their 6th week of their Fall Winter 2020 collection on October 1st on Thursday. It will feature, well, we don't actually know as of yet, where the drop list is not confirmed. I will do a drop list video to cover all the items that are releasing. There's of course the rumor that apparently the North Face collaboration will be happening this Thursday, because as you guys know, we either get 1 or 2 North Face collaborations a season, because you know there's technically 4 seasons in the year, so there's 4 North Face collaborations with Supreme in a year. So we could be getting our first one this Thursday. Maybe it'll be a Gore-Tex one in memory of Bob Gore that passed away last week. You know, the creator of Gore-Tex there. We don't know. There's no confirmation there, but we'll just have to wait and see. I am very keen for it, but we'll do a drop list video, and it is dropping on Thursday, October 1st. Now, of course, next week on October 5th, on Monday, we will have Kith doing their Monday program. Unfortunately, I didn't get to cover the recent Kith Monday program because it got teased at 1 a.m. and then dropped at 2 a.m. and I was like, obviously asleep. In Australian time, it teased 1 a.m. Australian time, dropped 2 a.m. Australian time. I was well asleep, so I didn't get to cover the recent one that released after the MLB collaboration, but I'll cover the next one on October 5th. No rumors on what it could be. There hasn't been any, teasers or anything like that, but we'll just have to wait and see, guys, and I will definitely do a streetwear talk video for you before it releases. Now, moving on, we have Del Schutzer releasing 2 releases this Monday. So on October 5th, we have Del Schutzer releasing the Nuclear hoodie. Now, this hoodie was teased to us a while ago, but it got pushed back for various reasons, and it's now finally getting released on October 5th. It is a 550 GSM hoodie. To put that into perspective, Champion reverse weaves, 340 GSM, 340 grams per square meter of fabric. Pith hoodies, normally around 450 grams per square meter. Del Schutzer, 550. Jeez, that is going to be a dense, thick hoodie. So if you are ready and you want to get ready for the winter season, buy a Del Schutzer hoodie because it is going to be mad thick. So we got the Nuclear hoodie to start it off with. I'm not too keen on this one because it's red and I've already got a red Champion reverse weave hoodie in my wardrobe, so I don't need a red one. But they're doing a second release on the same day, which is the Dream Hoodie version 2. So as you guys know, I picked up the Dream Hoodie version 1 way back when. Awesome hoodie. Can't remember how much GSM it is. I think it's either 450 or 500, but it's an amazing release. Now we are getting a second version of it. Unfortunately, not... the graphic doesn't move, it's just an embroidered graphic, but it's still a really nice graphic. It's releasing in 3 colorways, so I think it's black, navy, and cream off the top of my head. I'm quite interested in the cream one, actually. I think that's a really nice color. That is releasing alongside the Nuclear hoodie on October 5th, so get keen for that. I think it's 550 GSM as well, so super thick, super dense. It's going to be an awesome release, guys. These usually release for around 65 euros, so around about 130 Australian dollars. That's super cheap for the quality that they are offering. Del Schutzer always comes through with these amazing releases, so I definitely would check them out. But that's everything I've got for Section 7, guys. That's everything I've got for upcoming streetwear and fashion releases, unfortunately. We'll move on now to Section 8 and have a look at the upcoming sneaker releases that are happening this week. Whew. Last but not least, guys, our final segment of the podcast, upcoming sneaker releases. Now, to start off this segment, it's actually a release that has already happened. It released yesterday on Monday, but when I was writing up this episode, it was current, it was going to release before I finished writing it. But, well, I was lazy and I didn't record on Monday after I came home from work, so I didn't get around to covering it. But the first release that we have in upcoming sneaker releases is the Vivienne Westwood Asics collaboration on the Gel Kayano 26s. Now, this is kind of an interesting one. This one is inspired by Vivienne Westwood's 1983 Buffalo collection that had these like sack shoes, these sack and bag shoes. They were like these shoes that featured like a bag around the front of them, and this was like way back in 1983, and she's doing this, and it's like a thing that's like recently come into the spotlight over the past decade to have like bags on shoes and stuff with like Tom Sack shoes, Tom Sack Nike shoes, right? Like she was way ahead of her time. She has done it on the Kayano 26s, a performance running shoe, and I thought that was pretty wild. To be honest, I think it looks pretty damn ugly, but it's just a wild collaboration there. It retailed for 340 Australian dollars. It might still be available on some stockists, but that's expensive. That's a damn expensive shoe. But if you love Viv, if you love a bit of Asics, well, you can pick up both. You can get a nice little shoe there. But yeah, that released on, what is it, the 29th today? Yeah, 29th. So it released on the 28th there. It's still available on some stockists though, so definitely go looking around if you are looking to pick them up. Next, we have on upcoming sneaker releases, this is a big one of the big releases we have to talk about in this episode, is that on October 1st, we are getting the off-white rubber dunks. I talked about these ages ago. It's actually a lot of the views are coming in on my videos that are super old. Yeah, no, this is absolutely crazy that like now finally we are getting them in October. So they're releasing for 190 USD. But the problem is that they are not releasing in every single region. They are region exclusive. Tragic. So yeah, we have the off-white rubber dunks. We have the black and green ones, arguably I think my favorite colorway out of all three, releasing in South and North America. We have the UNC colorway, releasing in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. And then we have the yellow colorway, releasing in China and the Asia Pacific, which I think includes Australia. So Australia is unfortunately getting the yellow colorway, which I think is the ugliest colorway out of all three. But you know what, that's okay. At least we're getting one, I hope. October 1st. So yeah, on October 1st for 190 USD, you can pick up the off-white rubber dunks in your respective region. And last but not least, we have releasing tomorrow, we have the Union LA Jordan brand collaboration. Yes, guys, the Delta Mids, the Zoom 72s, I think. And obviously the Jordan 4s with Union LA. They are getting a general release now right at the end of the month on September 30th. Releasing on Nike.com, Nike sneakers, all that good stuff, and probably a couple stockists as well. So check your, high-end boutiques and stuff like that, and it's probably releasing there. But that's all I really have, unfortunately, for notable upcoming sneaker releases. I bet you there's going to be like a sneaker release tomorrow or the day after that was only announced today that I'm going to miss out on, but they're the ones that I've taken note of, guys. Definitely let me know in that comment section below if I missed out on any there, but that is it. That is section 8 of our podcast, Sneakers and Stuff, episode 5, guys. So let me know if there were any releases that I covered today, either in recent releases or upcoming releases that you guys thought were definitely worth talking about. What are some releases I may have missed? What are you the most keen on that's releasing this week? Let me know everything that you have to say about anything that's mentioned in today's podcast episode down in that comment section below. And that's it, guys. That is episode 5 done and dusted. I've now got to do a couple other videos, head to work, but I will probably edit and upload this video at 2 AM in the morning and get it out for you guys there. So yeah, let me know especially what your heat on your feet was this week. If you want to enter into Sunday's Best Dressed, just forward me the fit pic that you upload to Instagram, hashtag Sunday's Best Dressed, and then you can definitely feature in that. Tell me any recent pickups you have done. Tell me any recent releases you really like. And tell me any sneaker or streetwear news or rumors that you know of in that comment section below. Let me know, guys. Let me know everything you have to say about anything we've talked about in this podcast episode today on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or if you can't be bothered, go into those socials in the description section. That's okay, because YouTube has you covered. If you scroll on down, you can let me know on anything you have to say down in that comment section below. And of course, guys, just before the month ends, we are trying to aim for a milestone of 2,650 subscribers. We're only like less than 5 subscribers away. We're very close. Hopefully with your continuous support, guys, we can reach the milestone of 2,650 subs before the month ends. But that's all I've really got to say for episode 5, guys. It was actually a lot of fun to record this. I'm just kind of dreading having to go to work and then come back and edit and upload it. It was fun talking about all these things. A really fun episode, guys. I'm very keen to do episode 6 this Sunday, if I can do it on time. Hopefully we can. But yeah, until episode 6, guys, until the next streetwear video, until the next sneaker talk video, guys, I'll catch you later.